everybody. This is John. Welcome to the weekly water outlook for the South on May 11th, 2014. It looks like a very interesting week. I think we're going to have a greater percentage and a greater quantity of rain over parts of Oklahoma and Texas that we've seen in a long time. Now, even though some areas are going to get a lot of rain, won't be too far either to the west or to the even parts of the east that is going to drop off significantly. So I'll talk about that in just a moment here. Here's the precipitation over the last 7 days. If we zero in, we see that there was some precipitation over North Texas and southeast parts of Oklahoma. That area in yellow is over 2 inches. And I guess for the areas that have been really dry, that area is of green over a ½ inch is even very significant over north central Texas into the southern part and southwest Oklahoma, as far as the far southern part of Texas. So we're really seeing some areas that have gotten a more welcome rainfall, but then we get other areas here, such as the northwest Texas Panhandle, western parts of Oklahoma that have been very dry, and even embedded in between pockets of heavier precipitation, we have regions that have been quite dry as well. So sort of a mixed bag over the last week, but at least there was some precipitation to talk about. Now, if we look at the percent of normal over the last 7 days, this is what I'm talking about. You have areas of red next to areas of blue, and that's saying that mixed bag of precipitation. So if you need rain and you're right in here, you've got rainfall that was 4 times normal for the week, but yet right here you only had 25% of normal. So very much a sort of a random pattern of precipitation over the last week. Matter of fact, here in Oklahoma, look at this. Here's a little area of purple. That's 4 times normal, very small area. Right next to it, this area of red, that's nearly 0% of normal. Now, I wanted to show you over the last 30 days here some really interesting discontinuities. If we look at right here over the Louisiana towards northwest Florida, we really see where precipitation has picked up in this region here, extreme amounts of rain. But if we look at a very broad part of Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, look at this percent of normal for the past 30 days. We're looking at 50% or less of normal most areas, not all areas, most areas. And if we really look at this area of west Oklahoma, south and southwest Kansas, the Texas Panhandle and West Texas, we're looking at, in some cases over the last 30 days, only 25% of normal or less. And matter of fact, if you look really closely at these dark spots here, this is less than 5% of normal. So extremely dry and very much in need of rain in those areas. Now, temperatures were very warm over the last 7 days, and that's contributing to the drying out of these soils, and it's beginning to get into a feedback loop. The drier the soils, it is easier it is to warm up. That's why you see this correlation between temperatures and precipitation and soil moisture. So red is indicating temperatures well above normal. Matter of fact, those dark little pockets of red, that's 12 degrees above normal. Parts of north Oklahoma, western Oklahoma, and southern Kansas. Now, with those 30-day negative anomalies of precipitation, as you might suspect, look at the areas, all these red dots, well below normal stream flow over most of the region. The only exception here is if we look at right between the western part of Louisiana east, that's really where we see that discontinuity with much wetter conditions off to the east and then much drier conditions off to the west. I did want to mention that the upper Mississippi is experiencing some flooding. Generally, we are seeing along the Iowa-Illinois line, moderate flooding expected this week, and we've had a lot of repeated rainfall in that area. And then below Dubuque, down towards St. Louis, minor flooding. And that's going to attenuate as it moves further south. The Missouri is extremely low over the lower reaches, and that's going to help even attenuate it further south of St. Louis. So right now it doesn't look like there'll be any problem south of St. Louis, but then as we get in that one stretch along the Iowa and Illinois border, significant rainfall has occurred in that area, and more rain is expected in the future. So I want to talk about the jet stream analysis. The big story this week is going to be this trough of low pressure pushing through. That's that area in blue. And generally when you see an area in blue on this upper jet stream analysis, that means that jet stream's further south than normal. Areas of brown are jet stream further north than normal. Another way to look at this, areas of blue cooler than normal. Areas of brown warmer than normal. So we can take a look at how the jet stream changes as we go through the week. Okay, now when we start the week, you can see that area in blue over the southwest U.S. And as we get towards the middle of the week, you can see that it pushes right over the middle part of the nation. Keep in mind that ahead of that system is going to be a chance of severe weather, heavy rain, and then behind it, cooler temperatures moving in. And then by late this week, you can see it really dominates a large part of the central U.S. and then more and more the eastern U.S. And that's going to be a very prevailing pattern once it moves in this week, well into next week. Okay, just to give you some idea as a reference, this is Tuesday. You can see the cold front, and the cold front's associated with that trough pushing off to the east. Once that cold front goes through, the rain chances are going to end. So the rain's going to come early this week over the next 2 days, especially on late Monday into late Tuesday, right ahead of that cold front. And here's that rainfall forecast. Look at this. Right now, it looks like as much as 4 inches of rain in spots. But I wanted to point out just how widespread this area in red is, which is over 2.5 inches. Pretty widespread over eastern Texas and southeast Oklahoma. Now, but unfortunately, this is the area. Remember the area I said really needs that heaviest rain or more rain? Look at that. That's going to be unfortunate in the fact that that's going to receive very little significant rain. So areas that don't need, well, I should say need rain the least, although they do need rain, we need rain in these areas, are going to receive the most, and areas that are the driest are going to receive the least. But still, it does look like a welcome rain to most areas here as we go into the early part of this week. I wanted to show you, this is just from the day 2 or late Monday into late Tuesday, so most of it's going to be falling in that time range. Okay, so let's just look a little bit further ahead. This is a very strong pattern once it sets in. You can see this is what I was talking about. These are precipitation anomalies next 7 days, well above normal precipitation here, but then it really drops off, actually below normal precipitation central to northwest Oklahoma. Now, as far as the May 18th through 25th, it looks like once this pushes through, generally either below normal to near normal precipitation. Temperatures this week, it looks like that cool air will be pushing in early this week and then really dominating. It's looking like anywhere from -4 to -8 degrees below normal. And then May 16th through 21st, that looks like the cold air is going to linger over most of the region right through the middle part of May. If we look at a little bit further, the latter part of the May, there's some signs right now that it could actually continue over Texas, but I think right now I'm going to trend it back towards normal, towards the very part of the later part of the month. But we're looking at least a 10-day period, maybe even a 14-day period of below normal temperatures. So here's your takeaway. Heavy rain early in spots. I mentioned just some areas, but those areas are going to receive a lot of rain. Then a cooler and drier period pushing in that's going to last into the middle and latter part of the month of May. I'll provide an update to this tomorrow just to give you a heads up on how this changes. It'll probably change a little bit in alignment and quantity, but I'll be issuing that tomorrow. So if you need rain, hopefully you'll get some rain this week. I know not everybody will get this, but at least we're talking rain after going through quite a while with very dry weather. Talk to you later. Hope you've enjoyed the briefing.